Hey, what's going on, guys? Mr. Bricksquack back here with another video. As you guys know, I've been recently watching Andor, or rather, I finished the show Andor, and I'm such a huge fan of it. It is really one of the best Star Wars media to come out in recent years. Honestly, just so good. And I already got the one set that they released from season one, which is Ambush on Ferrix. And so today I'm reviewing the other set that they have, which is the Rebel U-Wing Starfighter. This is from season 2 of Andor. This is actually not the first U-Wing Starfighter we got. The first one we got was from Rogue One. When Rogue One first came out, obviously the U-Wing is Cassian Andor ship, and so kind of the main Rebel transport ship, and so that's what they use for everything. And so that's what came out at the time. It was a slightly bigger, kind of more detailed U-Wing than what came out now. Unfortunately, LEGO is very known for its downsizing and everything, so when this U-Wing released, it immediately had kind of a negative reputation, which is very unfortunate. It does look like a pretty nice set, which is part of the reason why I got it. The other reason why I got it was actually for the minifigures, so we'll definitely get into those in a second. But yeah, definitely looks like a really cool set. I'm not going to complain that we got more Andor sets, even if it is a remake set and a downsized one. However, I will definitely, build the set, keep an open mind, but if there are any flaws with it, I'm definitely going to go ahead and critique it. So yeah, just really excited to get into it, but stay tuned, guys, and really excited to build this for you guys. Alrighty, guys, just went ahead and unboxed the set. Looks like there is a total of 6 numbered bags here, which is pretty sizable. There is 600, almost 600 pieces in this set, so it's actually a little bit surprising to me that people have been complaining about being small, because it does have 600 pieces, which probably inevitably leads me to believe that a lot of the pieces are smaller than the one in the previous set. But yeah, really cool box art, by the way. Really love it. Love the box in general. I love these Andor boxes. I don't know why they're so good. But yeah, 6 numbered bags. We got this sticker sheet, which unfortunately looks like it got a little bit damaged during transportation. The stickers look fine and everything, but got a little bit bent. So not a big fan of that, but whatever. Not a big fan of stickers anyway. So that's always pain in the rear. But yeah, looks like just gonna go ahead and build. There's no overview or anything, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and build it and get back to you guys. Alrighty, guys, just finished the build of the Rebel U-Wing Starfighter. Honestly, looks really good. It looks kind of small on camera, to be honest, and I definitely know that it's smaller than the previous model, but in my opinion, I think it's a reasonable size. I mean, I honestly think it looks absolutely fantastic. Again, it is, I guess, a little bit small by some people's standards, but in my opinion, I think it looks great. I definitely really love the build process. Build took me about an hour and a half overall. Definitely really love some of the techniques they used here. It's honestly fantastic. It's a very sturdy build, for sure. And yeah, just really definitely enjoyed it. If I had to rate the build process overall, I would give it a very solid 8 out of 10. Honestly, really liked it. I mean, nothing about it was really bad to build. It was all very fun. And again, I love the way it came together and everything. So definitely a huge fan of that. Now, taking a look at the minifigure lineup, on the left here, starting with the Imperials, we have the ISB Tactical Agent. I'm honestly not sure why he came in this set. I guess it's because maybe this U-Wing specifically is from the scene where, they're rescuing Clea Markey from, the safe house on, I believe it's Coruscant. So I guess he was in that scene, although Dedra wasn't. So it doesn't really make a ton of sense. I mean, a lot of these minifigure lineups for the playsets don't really make much sense at all anyway. But, he's there, and I really appreciate having him. This is actually going to be a very useful minifigure for me to have later on. Honestly, just looks very clean. He just has one side of the face, which makes sense. He has a cap, and then he's got a nice little gun and a shield. So yeah, it looks really nice. It's sort of a continuous print sort of looking thing. So yeah, just really great minifigure overall for that one. Unfortunately, looking at the other minifigure, I really have mixed feelings about this, but I'm leaning towards really negative. The reason why is because, man, Dedra Meero's prints on the bottom look terrible. It's supposed to be a continuous print to represent, her kind of robe flowing and everything, but it looks awful. I mean, it's just the front side. Like, honestly, I would have preferred we just got black legs, because this looks even worse. I mean, the white looks completely off from the white here. The color is just completely terrible. And again, you don't have any flowing from the sides or on the backside or anything. So it just looks really, really bad, which is really sad because the upper half of this figure actually does look really nice. I mean, her face, absolutely stunning. The hair piece with the helmet, or sorry, not the helmet, the cap, fantastic. She has a little gun. The coat she has, honestly fantastic. I think the print looks so awful on that, and it kind of ruins the rest of the figure, unfortunately. Here we have a pretty good figure, Cassian Andor. This is his kind of season 2 getup. Pretty simple. His legs aren't fancy or anything, but looks nice, and he has a custom rifle to boot. Sorry, not custom rifle, custom blaster to boot, so really nice. He has a custom hair piece, pretty cool. Has a nice face. There is a double side on it, and his hair doesn't cover it, which is kind of an annoyance that I have with a lot of figures. And unfortunately, Andor is the victim of one of these, which is pretty bad. And now for what I think is the best figure in this set for sure. It's K2SO. He came in Krennic's shuttle back in the day, and so they finally remade him again. Pretty much a perfect figure. They custom molded this. They custom molded this thing on top right here, so the entire piece is kind of continuous. He has the kind of Imperial printing on the arms right there, which is really nice. Uses black droid arms for the rest. Custom piece down here, I believe. And then, yeah, he has his gun right there. So just an awesome figure overall. I don't know if he's size accurate compared to the other minifigures. But yeah, it just looks really nice overall for sure. And definitely the highlight of this set. A lot of people are going to get this set just for K2SO. And I would totally understand that. And here you have the other side of the two figures that have double-sided faces. Dedra, as you can see, has a more angry face on the backside. And Cassian has a more of a smirking face. So there you go. Now, getting into the actual build itself and the aesthetic and everything, again, I mentioned that I am a fan of this. I absolutely love the color scheme on this thing. The kind of like light yellow that they use on this is absolutely fantastic. They do have stickers on here, but they're pretty minimal, just used to add a little bit of color. And of course, I love the classic blue and white of the U-Wing, with some gray mixed in there as well. Just a very nice, colorful build. A lovely Rebel ship, to be honest. And definitely a staple of the kind of Rebel Alliance. So yeah, absolutely looks fantastic there aesthetically. Another thing you can do for this set, obviously, is kind of the big feature of the U-Wing really is to extend the arms out. So there's a little kind of hinge that they use right here. Hooks on really nicely. And so it's kind of a ball joint. And so you just take that, kind of separate it this way. And then on the other side, you can see that there's a ball joint there. And you can hook it up to the kind of backside right there. So you do that. It's a pretty nice, tight fit. Really does not come off at all. And there you go. And that's kind of flight mode. So the other is takeoff mode. This is more like flight mode. It's honestly big. Like, that's the thing I don't get about it. People complain about the size of this thing. And yeah, I guess when you're, putting it in the landed position and everything, it's pretty small. But when you expanded, this thing has a massive wingspan, and honestly, I love it in this position. It looks absolutely huge. It looks like a real, it looks like a real plane. I mean, this thing looks absolutely fantastic. I love the way they did this. So yeah, definitely a really huge fan of this. I might just keep it like this for the rest of the review because I love this kind of angle of the U-Wing so much. It's absolutely fantastic. The other one is obviously probably better for storage purposes, but in terms of display, man, this is where it's at. Really nice aesthetically, huge fan. And taking a look at some of the other angles, I guess, I really like the way they did the kind of sloping around here. It just looks very smooth overall. Love the shaping. I love the way they did the kind of side panels and everything. It's really nice and compact. They have a little see-through window on the bottom here, which is really neat. They have a back door there that I'm going to open in a second. They have some, kind of small little details right here, nothing crazy. And then obviously the engines, I would have liked them to be a little bit more tapered out. It looks like a very rough transition from the big kind of engines in the front to the gray in the back. It's just, it's supposed to be tapered off in reality. And so that's a little bit inaccurate. It is more accurate than the previous U-Wing, I believe. But yeah, it looks nice, honestly. I love the blue and everything. I love the color scheme of this thing and the shaping, but some parts are a little bit inaccurate. Overall, though, I am genuinely just a really big fan. I really like the way this turned out and everything, so I'm a huge fan of that. Now getting into the kind of interior, and this is where a lot of people start to have problems with this set, which I completely understand. Let's start with the cockpit here. So you can actually open this kind of by hand, just pop it open like that. Then you have a spot to put Cassian Andor or whatever pilot you want. I'm probably going to put Cassian in there since that makes sense. You don't really have a U-Wing pilot minifigure in the set, unfortunately. One of the other features they have, though, which is really interesting, is you can actually use this little switch right here to kind of pop the cockpit open. It's weird. I mean, I don't really get the purpose of that. Maybe it's to make it easier to lift up with one finger instead of using your whole hand. Or maybe you just don't want to dirty the windscreen piece, which is a little weird. Speaking of the windscreen piece, that's one of the few things about the aesthetic that I don't like about this build. The off-white, again, just doesn't match with the normal white. This isn't as egregious as it is for Dedra. However, I still am not a big fan of it, so not a good look there. But looking at the interior of this thing here, you can open up both sides, actually. So there's that side, and then there's that side. And so you pretty much have an access to a full interior. Unfortunately, the interior of the set is very, very small, and as many people have mentioned, there are no sliding doors, which is how it's supposed to be in canon. So it is a little bit annoying. You really only have space for like maybe one minifigure in there. It's a really tight fit, and I don't personally really like that. You would want to have space for a lot more minifigures because this is, at the end of the day, a troop transport. So it just doesn't really make sense for a troop transport to have really limited interior room. That's definitely probably the biggest gripe I have with this set overall. Again, visually, I'm not opposed to it at all, but unfortunately, the size does do a couple things to the interior, which is quite unfortunate. So yeah, not a big fan of that, but honestly, the visuals are still fantastic. So I just went ahead and put Cassian in the pilot seat right here. Unfortunately, because of the way the set is constructed, he basically looks like he's lying dead there, which looks absolutely terrible, to be honest with you. Not a big fan of that. I also put K2SO in the bay here, and he unintentionally kind of looks like he's just kind of chilling there, like, it's minding his own business. Unfortunately, I don't know where you're supposed to put the weapons, and if someone has any information on this, please let me know. I thought you could maybe put them on those two like studs kind of back there, but it's really hard to access them, so I don't think they're the right thing. There are also these clips here, which I thought maybe you put the weapons on there, but it's also really hard to attach the guns to the clips there, so I have no idea, to be honest, where you're supposed to put these weapons. Also worth noting, on the back side here, there is a little bit of a kind of like back door sort of thingy, but it, as you can see, it really leads nowhere, so it's kind of a moot feature. Very, very disappointing because it actually looks cool. I would wish it would open up fully so you could actually put some stuff in there, but yeah, it doesn't really do much there. So unfortunately, very limited play feature with this thing, which is a huge shame. So not the best. Before I stop though, there is one more feature left, which is you can see these kind of really discreetly placed, I guess, what do you call these? Flick fire missiles on here. So actually there is a pretty easy way to fire these. Again, it's very discreet. You wouldn't really notice it unless you're paying attention or if you know how the build works. But this thing right here is actually raised a little bit. And if you press it, both missiles come out. Unfortunately, there is no way to do it individually. I think the old one had individual mechanisms, so you have to force out both at the same time. However, I think that's a really cool feature, honestly. I'm a really big fan of it and just how well it's hidden. So I will say that is probably my favorite play feature of the set. Unless you count, the wings folding as a play feature, but I kind of don't. That's just honestly awesome. I mean, look at that thing. Huge wingspan. Absolutely beautiful. So overall, guys, if I had to rate this set on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably give it a 6 out of 10. It seems a little bit low. It seems a little bit low, but let me kind of clarify. I do think that aesthetically, this set is very nice, and I don't really have any major complaints. There are some minor ones that I have, of course, but nothing incredibly major, like some people have. People worry that the downsizing is the biggest part of this set, and I disagree with that. I don't think it's the worst part. I think it's the combination of downsizing with the lack of ability to incorporate nice play features. Again, the interior of this thing is absolutely pathetic. It really is. This thing is 600 pieces and comes in at $70. That is overpriced. The Cassian Andor or whoever pilot you put on here can't pilot it sitting normally. That is a definite big, downside. And on top of that, there were some minor visual things, there's some sticker applications, so I take off some small points for that. But really, the big thing is the lack of play features on here. The minifigures are mostly fine, but like I said, this Dedra is egregious, really, truly egregious, and I cannot forgive LEGO for doing that, which is why I would give this set a 6, maybe a 6.5 if I'm being generous. I do like some of the play features on here. Again, the whole wings folding out thing is just really, really sick, and I also love the flick fire things right here, but unfortunately, it's just too flawed of a set for me to give it anything higher than a 7. It can't. I can't in good conscience give this a 7 out of 10 because I don't think it is what the people wanted. And unfortunately, that's something that LEGO is going to have to figure out. I would hope that honestly they make a UCS scale of this thing so we can actually put a bunch of figures in it and, kind of treat it the way it's supposed to be, which is a troop transport. In this scale, it's just not great, and it's a downsize from the previous one. So it's just not, it's just not the greatest thing. Like I said, I gave this, an open review. I came in with an open mind. I didn't really make any prejudgments. I do really like a lot about this set, but overall, still a 6 out of 10, which is not a bad score, by the way. I mean, 5 out of 10 I consider average, and so this is slightly better than your average play set. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but yeah, definitely could use some work. Anyway, guys, really hope you enjoyed this review. Please leave me a like if you enjoyed it. Please leave a comment down below, whether it's negative or positive feedback. Really excited to hear you guys' thoughts. I know some people probably love this set and some people hate this set. And so I'll have some people that agree with me and some people disagree with me, maybe on different areas, but totally willing to hear it. Love hearing you guys' opinions and everything. If you, love this video and other content on my channel, please consider subscribing. Really helps me out a lot, helps me beat the algorithm. And you can stay tuned to my videos every week. I mean, I really try to put a lot of effort into this and really appreciate any, support or feedback you guys can give me. So definitely love that. And yeah, if you guys want more LEGO Star Wars content, then please stay tuned to Mr. Brickswag. Peace out, guys.